There are good Hot Toys, there are bad Hot Toys, and there's some of them where you just close your eyes as soon as the link goes up and hit pre-order, maybe pre-order twice. This is one of them.
Click on Zombie Apocalypse.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This is 6-Scale Economist. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Anakin Skywalker Clone Wars with STAP and also talking about the regular version. As always, first we're going to talk about this figure from a collection perspective, and then we're going to talk about it from an investment perspective. So obviously we saw this figure get announced with Sideshow Con over this past week. An insane week, so I will be going over all the figures individually that I've already talked about briefly in some of my other videos and live streams. So let's just jump right into it. So first we're going to take a look at the special edition. This one, is $385, comes with the STAP. I love the Clone Wars. Obviously, I love Star Wars. This figure was an absolute buy for me. My very first reaction was, to obviously seeing the leaked images from Sideshow, and the lighting was just so poor in those images that, this one didn't catch my eye as much as it does, now. I knew immediately, no matter what, I was going to be buying this figure, but I just think it looks so much better once Hot Toys did, their Hot Toys Sideshow, what do they call it, Hot Toys Showcase, and we actually got to see some professional lighting, professional images. I mean, this figure is awesome. Definitely one of the highlights for me for the entire con. Obviously, we get him in his Clone Wars look with the armor and the different color fabric. It's not my favorite look for Anakin. I think that but I don't really know what else it could have done. I like him more as he appears in season 3 and on of the Clone Wars. But that look is basically what he already looks like for light side Anakin and dark side Anakin. So I get why they had to go with this. I also love him with the cape. I don't know why they didn't have him on display with the cape, but I think it looks so much better and really makes the figure look a lot cooler. So I'm definitely pumped to see with the cape. I'm going to be displaying him with the cape for sure. I guess it's removable though, because I didn't, it's not on display. It wasn't on display at the con, so I'm not really sure how it's removable. Maybe there's magnets at the top of it. I'm not really sure. We get the same boots as this one as we saw with Dark Side Anakin and Light Side Anakin. It's just not the greatest boots. I talked about this yesterday in Jedi Patrol podcast, or live stream rather. If you haven't checked that out, make sure to check it out. He's an awesome channel. I'm sure you guys have already heard of him. I'll put his link in the description below. But they should have had a separate joint here or something, so that you don't just ruin the leg, because a lot of these poses you just can't get him in. It's just going to bend the fabric, or bend the pleather. But I mean, he looks great. Also, they gave us a new hair sculpt. It's a windswept hair sculpt, I think is what they're calling it. I think it looks really cool. I'm looking at my dark side Anakin right now. It definitely looks different. Overall looks much more similar to the light side Anakin, but I mean, Anakin is one of my favorite figures in my whole collection. I was so pumped to see this. I think it's a little bit of a cash grab, given that it's basically kind of what we've already had before, but this figure is just fantastic overall. And talking about the STAP when it comes to our STAP, for me, I don't really need Hot Toys vehicles in my collection. It just takes up too much space, and I wouldn't say that this is something that's very iconic for Anakin, so I won't be picking up the deluxe probably. I'll probably be picking up the standard version, but if you have battle droids in your collection and you have the sideshow pieces and you want to put them facing off against the clones, this would be a really cool piece to put a battle droid on. So I can see people doing that. God, this shot. As of the recording of this video, they still haven't officially announced Obi-Wan, but obviously we got to see images of him. It just looks so great. These are gonna look so great together. Seeing this picture right here, if you were somehow still on the fence on picking up either of these figures and you're a Star Wars fan, this should be the selling point. Just picture these two, and then just picture Captain Rex right here and Commander Cody right here. That's what you're gonna have on your display shelf, in 2028 when we actually get these figures. But all jokes aside, this figure is really not coming out for a year and a half, which sucks. But once we're able to have that whole ensemble, you're not gonna want to, you'll regret not picking up this figure if you're a Star Wars fan. Obviously, it's here. Everyone's talking about it. We got the hologram of Ahsoka. Where is Ahsoka though? That was the real one that everyone was kind of hoping for. It's really cool to see we got Clone Wars Obi-Wan and Anakin, but Ahsoka was the big one that everybody has been waiting for. So I don't know when we're gonna get that, but I imagine we're going to get it soon. Some people are speculating that the reason why we didn't get it yet is because of the Mandalorian season 2. Like there's rumors that she might be in that show. So I think that's like a fair, like, so it's like a fair thing to guess, but like, why don't they just give us a Clone Wars Ahsoka and then change the look and then give us her again in the Mandalorian season 2, however she appears? It's gonna be more money for them. I'm sure they're gonna end up doing that either way, so why not just give us the Clone Wars one with all these other Clone Wars release? Needless to say, I'm just very grateful that Hot Toys is actually giving us like, to see this right here, Star Wars The Clone Wars on a Hot Toys like thing is just, it's just fantastic, and it's great. It's just kudos to the company for really listening to the fans and giving everybody what they wanted. So taking a look at everything that he comes with, obviously you get the cape. I assume it is removable. Oh, I imagine that it's attached to the interchangeable armor piece. That makes sense. And you know, we get like the grenade, some hands, sushi lightsaber, regular lightsaber, standard display base. Kind of wish they gave us like a more unique display base, but that's okay. And then obviously you get this STAP, which is massive. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the images, but this thing is going to be huge. Like, yeah, and then if you order on Sideshow, you get this like additional poncho. I actually think the poncho is pretty cool, but like definitely doesn't enough for me to like order it from Sideshow just to get the poncho. If anything, I just put the poncho that I'm getting with Qui-Gon on him whenever I want, but I probably won't sway him that much with the poncho even if I did have it. Okay, so that's it from a collection perspective. Let's talk about it from an investment perspective. From an investment perspective, on a percentage basis, I think that Anakin regular is going to do better. Like, I imagine that, like, one, this figure is going to do well. Like, do not kid yourself. Like, there's nothing stronger than historical evidence. Like, look at how the other Anakins have done. And, like, even if your concern is, like, oh, you know, it's Anakin, so, like, maybe it's going to do well, but, like, they're going to produce so much of it. Look at Darkside Anakin. Remember, he was in stock for a year and a half on Sideshow before he sold out, and he is one of the best, on a percentage basis, he is the best performing hot toy other than the Shore Trooper in the secondary market. This figure is going to do well no matter how much they produce. There's too many fans of Anakin. There's too many fans of Clone Wars in general. This is probably going to be the top 3 figures that anybody who's entering into the Hot Toys market is going to want to pick up for Star Wars. This figure is going to do fantastic from an investment perspective. Now, if it's between these two, on a percentage basis, I think this one will do better. Take, for example, Darth Maul, the Darth Maul sets, right? You had the standard Darth Maul, which was like $274, and then you had like the deluxe one that came with the his speeder bike. On a percentage basis, the regular Darth Maul has done better. We've seen something similar with the Emperor as well, with the Emperor and the Throne versus the Emperor. Like, there's not enough demand for the vehicle to like have this set go up on a percentage basis as much as this one. Like, think about it. If this one goes up 100%, it goes to $520. Like, that sounds like something that seems more reasonable. You know, as crazy it is, I'm sure like 6 months after this figure sells out, this isn't just another figure that's probably going to go for like $500 in the secondary market, aka about 100% increase in over retail. For this figure to go 100% over retail, it has to go to, what is that? Like $770. Like, at $770, like, that is a much more real increase, like, on an absolute value versus, like, what the percentage increase is. So to have the same increase in percentage for this figure compared to this figure, this has to outperform, like, $200 more. So basically, essentially what you're saying is, if you think that this set is going to do as well as the standard edition, you're basically saying that the figure itself is going to go up 100% value, and the STAP also has to go up 100% value. And I just don't see that happening. I mean, already this STAP is valued at $125 based on the difference in price for these two sets. So you're saying that this STAP has to sell for $250 alone in the secondary market in order for that set to do as well as this one? It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up. So I think that if you want to pick up this figure and you aren't in love with the STAP, I would just pick up the standard version. And like, if you're like, you know, there's a lot of figures that came out, it's a lot of money to spend. So if you don't know which one you want to pick and you are already ordering so many figures, just get the standard. I don't know if you need the deluxe. Obviously a bunch of people are going to be picking up the deluxe, and that's great if you are. But just for me, in terms of like investment perspective, the standard on this one is the no-brainer to me. I would much rather order 2 standards than order, you know, one deluxe and have like $150 left over. And also talking about this one, a lot of people have been asking me What do you think about Dark Side Anakin? What do you think about Light Side Anakin? So my initial response when this figure came out was, I said, this figure is significantly different than Light Side and Dark Side Anakin. There's probably going to be panic selling in Dark Side and Light Side Anakin, which there was as soon as this figure was announced. If you own the figure and have been looking to sell it, don't fall into this trap of selling it. This figure is substantially different from those two, and most collectors, myself included, would want to have all three representations of Anakin in their collection. At the very least, Dark Side Anakin and this Anakin, because now I think the rankings go Dark Side Anakin, Clone Wars Anakin, Light Side Anakin. So, especially your Dark Side Anakins, don't fall into the trap of selling it right now because you're, worried that, you want to just pick up the new one and you don't want to like lose your equity on this one. It didn't really have like that significant of a move, especially on Facebook groups. I saw people like posting it for like $450. If you don't have a Dark Side Anakin, that is a scoop and score for $450. It's not going to go down again like this. And with all Star Wars coming back into the meta and coming back into the hype, it's just too good of a figure, and it's just not going to sit there. Take advantage of people panic selling. If you want to pick up your Dark Side Anakin, pick it up now. And same thing with the Light Side Anakin. Like, look at this. This was yesterday. I know it's Tim sent, so he always gets way higher equity on his figures when he sells them than a regular eBay seller. But this is insane at $805 when, just a few days ago, like closer to when, or just yesterday, this one sold for like $400. It's actually best offer accepted, so it could have been less than $400. I also saw on the Facebook group like $415. People panic selling when it came out. Here's one for, $494. Don't fall for this. Like this figure still sells. Like this one for $400. That you're letting it go at $400. If you ever want it back, people are going to make you pay up for it right now. So never sell. You should never panic sell when like a figure comes out, especially if it doesn't really warrant it in this situation. So if you don't have Dark Side Anakin or Light Side Anakin, if you've been looking for one, now is a really good time to pick it up. With this market panic. But overall, Anakin is just too good of a figure. Everybody loves him. This figure is going to do so well from perspective. I cannot recommend this figure enough. I'm super excited for this one. Can't wait to get my pre-order in with Steven's Collectibles when he puts that up early this week, and we'll go from there. But that's going to wrap it up for today's video. These are only my thoughts and opinions. Feel free to let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this figure? Are you guys picking up this figure? Was it a no-brainer for you? Let me know down below. This is 6 Scale Economist, and we'll see you in the next video.